Morning.
Good morning.
We are doing a cruising video, only it's not one of our cruising videos.
It's not our boat.
It's not our boat. It's not us cruising. It's just we're going to be cruising on the Cambridge backs.
We've come back to Cambridge. We were here in the summer, but you can only get on the backs from, I think it's October to March or something.
Yeah, I think it's end of October to early March.
It's now November, and one of our followers who we met in Ely and a few other times has invited us up because he's taking his boat on the backs, and he said that we can come with him. So we have.
There's a whole rigmarole to it because you have to contact the Cambridge commissioners and kind of go through a process of getting approved to go up there, and you're not supposed to go up there during the part of the year in which all the punting is happening.
Although I did see a punt out.
Yeah,
So
they'll probably be out, but you're not supposed to be there through prime punting season. So so it's not prime punting season anymore. So we're going to take a look at it, and hopefully we'll go under the Bridge of Sighs, which you can't currently walk across due to COVID restrictions and stuff, and the mathematical bridge that Newton apparently designed. So looking forward to that.
Yep.
And sorry for the light flare.
And the tree hitting me on the head.
Yes.
Today we've joined Simon and a few of his friends on Narrowboat Scholar Gypsy. Michael joins Simon at the tiller, and George and I settle in the bow with some of the others. We leave the Cambridge visitor moorings, which are just opposite Jesus Green. This is as far as you can come up the River Cam on a narrowboat during the spring, summer and autumn months, and it's where we moored Perseverance when we visited earlier in the year. Jesus Lock, or Lock Number 1, was built almost 200 years ago, and it's the only lock in the city. It shares its name with the Green and Jesus College, Cambridge, which is just north of here. The lock is a fairly long one at 104 feet. There's a swing bridge across the chamber, which is needed to access the far side of the lock, as there's a weir just beyond. It feels very strange for Michael and I to be passengers while the others work the lock. Many of the older Cambridge University colleges back onto the River Cam in central Cambridge, which is why this part of the river is known as the Backs. In the 16th century, the area consisted of pastures, gardens and orchards, which were all owned by the colleges of the university. It's not long before we spot our first punt. A punt is a small, square-ended boat with a flat bottom. The chauffeur uses a long pole on the riverbed to push the boat along. This action is called punting, and it's perfect for shallow waters. Punting's been around since the medieval period, and punts were commonly used for fishing in shallow waters like the Fens. They were also used to carry cargo. Pleasure punting came to Cambridge at the beginning of the 20th century as commercial traffic decreased. The first college we pass is Magdalen College, and this is Trinity Bridge, which is a road bridge. In Roman times there was a ford here, and it marked the entrance to the city. The earliest bridges on this site were wooden, and the first stone bridge was built in 1754. The current bridge is also known as the Great Bridge. It's cast iron and dates back to 1823, although it has been repaired since then. Here we're passing St John's College. The college is built on the site of a medieval hospital called St John's the Evangelist. The iconic Bridge of Sighs is quite a sight. It's of course named after the Bridge of Sighs in Venice. It was built 200 years ago and is the only covered bridge in the city. St John's College's second bridge is Kitchen Bridge, also known as the Renbridge. It's a century older than the Bridge of Sighs, and of course there were wooden bridges on the site before that. The bridge was designed by Christopher Wren in the 1690s, but not built until 20 years later. As we approach Trinity College, the river takes a bit of a bend. This building is the Ren Library, again designed by Christopher Wren. It houses some works of Shakespeare, various letters from Newton, and A. Milne's original drawings of Winnie the Pooh. This triple arch road bridge is Trinity Bridge. It was built from Portland stone in 1783. The bridge it replaced, in turn, replaced a bridge that was destroyed by Cromwellian soldiers to defend the city during the English Civil War. Officially, this bridge is called Garrett Hostel Bridge. I've also seen it referred to as Orgasm Bridge, and there are various theories as to how it got that name. When you hire a punt in Cambridge, you can either take a tour with a chauffeur or you can pilot it yourself. It's quite easy to spot who the professional chauffeurs are. The next bridge is Clare's College Bridge, which means we're now passing Clare's College. It's the oldest of Cambridge's current bridges, having been built in 1639. It does make you wonder how many punts have passed through its arches over the last 400 years. The chapel and the Gibbs building of King's College together have to be one of the most striking views from the river, especially when illuminated in the afternoon sun. And this is the King's College Bridge. Crips Court is an accommodation building for Queen's College, and you can see it's rather newer than some of its neighbours, having been built in the 1970s and 80s. Another of the more famous back bridges is the Wooden Mathematical Bridge, or Wooden Bridge, or Queen's Bridge as it's also known, as it connects the two parts of Queen's College. It was designed in 1748 and has been replaced to the original design a number of times. The arch is formed from straight lengths of timber. It's quite a fascinating design. Silver Street Road Bridge is the last bridge we'll be passing under. Although there's been a bridge here since the 14th century, this one was built just 65 years ago. The river opens up slightly here, and this basin was once an inland port. It's now the home of Scudamore's Punting Company, who have been around for 100 years and were responsible for originally bringing leisure punting to Cambridge. We've reached Mill Pit, and this is where we need to turn around. To the west of us is Darwin College, the last of the Cambridge colleges we'll be passing. There's a weir here, and so this is the start of the back's level of the river. By the time it reaches Cambridge, the Cam has already flowed for 28 miles from its source in Essex.